Hello and welcome to English 911. I'm so glad that you could be with me today. And just so you know, for your information, my name is Skyla. This last week, I read your letters and I found a couple really interesting ones that, I've had trouble with in the past as well. So hopefully we can make things clearer today, okay? So our first question is from Ilya. Now, his question is interesting because it has two very similar words. We have incisive and decisive, okay? Incisive and decisive. How are they different, right? Because here's our problem. We look at it and we say incisive and decisive, in and d, right? So we think incisive should be in of whatever decisive is, and decisive should be out or something, or against whatever decisive is. However, here's our thing. Our root of our words are actually like incise, right? We have an E on the end. It means to cut, okay? So this word means cutting into. So for example, if someone makes an incisive remark, it means that they cut into the problem. Like they just said something like, wow, it just opened up everything and I see it better now. It cut into it and it opened it up, okay? So it was like a sharp, an acute, that's a good word, acute comment, okay? For this we have our adverb incisively and noun incisiveness, just so you know, okay? So here we have to cut. And it's usually used in the non-literal sense, okay? So usually we talk about cutting into conversations or different things, not literally like, oh, he incised the loaf of bread. We usually, with that, we would say he sliced or cut. So, non-literal, but to cut. Now, decisive comes from our word. You have any guesses? I'm sure someone was right. Our word is decide, okay? So, something that is decisive means that it's conclusive. It's putting an end to debate. It's like, say, we've been talking and we've just been arguing something. Several people have made incisive comments, like just, oh, really made us think. But then someone said something decisive. It means it was the end all. It was the. Let's go like that. It was the answer. It decided everything. So to decide, something that is decisive, it can be prompt, it can be positive. It's just, it put an end to it, okay? And for this, we have our adverb decisively and our noun decisiveness. Okay, so to cut and to decide, incisive and decisive. So I'm glad that all that's understandable now. And now on to our second question, which is from Christina. So Christina, your question is very interesting. Here we have, like I'm writing, right? And here I have a word I want to write. Do I put the whole word here? Do I put part of it here and here? Or do I put all of it on the second line? Now, in English, yes, you can put a hyphen. That's what this line is called. That is called a hyphen. Let me just spell that actually. Hyphen. Okay? You can put a hyphen between, like to split words, okay? But there are 7 rules actually about how you can do this. So first we have rule number 1, okay? That you need to divide the word between syllables. For example, you have the word support, right? Let's write this word. Support. You don't want to ever write like support, or maybe like support and then put T on the last line, right? You always want to divide between the syllables, which here is SUP-P, okay? Support. That's how you want to do. Divide between the syllables all the time, okay? Now, rule number 2. Here we have rule number 2 is that the hyphen goes at the end of the first line. So let's use support again. Here's our word. Sup. Now, where do we put the hyphen? That's right, at the end of the first line. So we put it here, and then we continue. Port over here. So you never want to put the hyphen at the beginning of the second line, okay? Now, our third rule is that prefixes and suffixes make natural divisions. For example, you have a word prefix. Pre is a prefix, right? So you have pre, and then that's not a dot, that's a hyphen. And then you put fix over here. Or you have international, right? Where's my pen? Here. I-N dash international. Okay, over here. So now on to, that was our third question rule, right? Prefixes and suffixes make natural divisions. Now on to our fourth rule is that there should be at least 2 letters plus the hyphen over here. So we need 2 letters here and the hyphen. And over here we need 3 letters. For example, let me think of any words. Skyla. So we should have SK-YLA over here. Except for that, it doesn't work because we need to have the Y over here with our syllable. So, but you never want to have less. Like for example, the word elect, right? You would never write E dash and then lect because you need 2 letters here. So you will never have a word that has less than 5 letters in it. You will never have, like for example, the word echo. You just won't hyphenate. If there's not space here, put it on the next line, okay? So now on to rule number 5, which says do not divide proper names or adjectives. For example, Skyla, we just don't divide it. There we go. Or Washington, right? You can't write, wash, that's an S, wash dash, and then Ington, right? It's not right. There we go, not correct. You can only write Washington, Russia, Poland, all of those, England, Canada, those always stay as one word. You never divide them, okay? Then number 6, say you have a word that already has hyphens in it. For example, mother-in-law. Right? We have mother-in-law. So here what you do is you use where you already have hyphens. You want to go mother hyphen. You can also assume a job or a position. To presume actually means almost the same thing, but do you see here, pre? And what does the prefix pre mean? Right, that's right, before, right? So presume has basically the same idea, but it has the idea that you thought about it beforehand, right? You did something presume. It also can mean like, you did something without prior knowledge, like you assumed without all of the evidence. You made a decision without all of the evidence. You can presume. Or if you behave arrogantly or overconfidently, it's also because you're doing something beforehand. Like kind of like you do it before you think. You presume. It's like you do something or you think something before you think. And it can also mean that you think before you do it. Very difficult, right? Very difficult, but it has the idea of either thinking beforehand or not thinking beforehand. And usually you have to get that from the sentence. A lot of English words you have to understand from context. You can never just say, this word means this. You need to have it in a sentence. For example, he presumed he would go to the war. He thought about it before that he would go to the war, right? Or if I can say, I presumed I would do this, but I guess I'm not, right? Also means I thought I would do this before, but now I'm not. However, if I can presume upon someone, it's basically like, I think I'm better, and I'm obviously mistaken. So to presume has the idea of before, thinking before. But always remember, look in context, see a word in a sentence, because then you will know what it actually means, okay? So I'm looking forward to seeing you next time, and I hope that all of your decisions this next week are very decisive and possibly incisive. And I'm waiting to see you here next time at English 911. Goodbye for now.